Hello. I'm here to talk a little bit more about a kit that I put together to share with you all. I set it up as an enrollment kit, as an invitation to invite you into a world of essential oils as natural healing tools. There's 7 essential oils that I put in the kit that have really helped me balance parts and heal parts of my metal element in my emotional, physical, and mental, spiritual aspects as well. I've been using them not only at periods, but I've been actually using most of these oils every day for over a year, which is why I'm sharing them with you now, because they've just completely changed my healing process. And so I'm really excited to share it with you. So I'll try not to go on too long, but I just wanted to briefly touch on the elements for those of you that aren't as familiar, and a little bit of the qualities, and I'll quickly go through the oils. And if anyone has any questions, just drop them in the comments, or you can DM me anytime. But my understanding is the 5-element theory, which is an ancient Taoist understanding that everything contains the elements. Everything can be understood through understanding the elements. So that means all the elements are inside of us, all the elements are in our world, and each element contains a set of traits and qualities that we can sort of say, okay, this element is, too much or too little, and then that's how we can find balance in our internal and external worlds, including our emotions and our physical health and our mental well-being and all of that. So each element contains, association with seasons, organ networks, colors, tastes, sensory organs, directions, planets, all that kind of stuff. And so even if you know Feng Shui, similar as well, that everything contains these elements. So understanding qualities of elements helps you understand sort of how they show up in your life and in the external world. So now that we're in the season of autumn, which corresponds to the metal element, you can look at the qualities of this season and kind of even just deduct, from that, what some of the qualities of the metal element would be. Death, decay, sorrow, loss, letting go is a process of the metal element. Things like that. In terms of organ systems, the organ officials of the metal element is the lung and large intestine, which also includes the respiratory system. The sense of the metal element is a sense of smell. And so it can go on and on. But essentially, the understanding is basically with this is it's the lungs, the large intestine, grief, letting go, sorrow, and that kind of thing can be helpful to just understand. So that being said, it also has to do with the skin. The skin is also associated with the metal element as our largest organ, and our protection is one of our protection from our internal environment and our external environment. So one of the themes that goes along with the metal element is boundaries, and our boundary between the external environment and our internal environment. If you think about it, our lungs are quite our connection to that, because as we breathe in oxygen, it goes directly to a very sensitive part of our internal body. And so that's one of the reasons why protecting ourselves during this season, when seasonal threats are higher, is helpful to the metal element and balancing that. So the oils that I included, I'll just quickly go through these oils. And like I said, any questions, ask. I have had such incredible success with my healing of grief with all of these oils. And self-judgment has lessened. But I will say that a lot of the grief that was kind of just sitting inside of me has lifted with my practices in combination with the essential oils. And thus, my breathing is better, my lung health is better, my skin is better, all of those things. So the first oil that I'll talk about is Easy Air. Now this oil is a blend, so it contains a bunch of the other oils that I'm going to talk about. So it contains lemon, cardamom, tea tree, eucalyptus. So you get the idea. It's an oil for opening the airways, making it easier to breathe. And I tell you, it really works. I use this oil every day, sometimes multiple times a day, and it instantly allows me to take in more air. Like, it really, really does. And that's not even with any sort of affirmations or any meditation or anything else. It's just even this. Nothing, when you add a conscious aspect to it, it amplifies it, of course, but even just this alone. So I do it a lot on my chest here. And I was even saying to a friend the other day that we were walking in a beautiful park here, and of course full of trees. I really want to take it in. I really want to expand my breath, but I just noticed there was a weight in my lungs, and even though I was in a forest, I couldn't take it in as much as I wanted. So I just quickly rolled the Easy Air across my chest, rubbed it in. I did a little bit of acupressure on some of my lung points and the kidney 27 point here to also help anchor the breath. Kidney 27 point here really, I find, helps me anchor my breath. But after that, I'm walking in the forest, and now I'm feeling really the oxygen coming through. So Easy Air is such a good one. It also has laurel in it, which is another very helpful respiratory oil. So that's going to be a really good one for anything. If you, even day to day, for me, it's important. But it's also a great oil to support you in grief and sorrow. Again, keeping the airways open. You may notice too, when you experience grief, it's harder to breathe, or you hold your breath, or you crunch it up. So that's a really one that I like. So another one, tea tree, also really great for the respiratory system. Like I said, it's in the Easy Air as well, but I really like tea tree in a roller because you can very easily treat skin blemishes and other skin issues with it very quickly and easily. But again, it does support the respiratory system. So if you get scratchy throat, if you get congestion in the chest, tea tree is also a really good one to use. On an emotional and spiritual level, I find it incredibly helpful for helping me let go. So I find it really forceful, not in a bad way, but really strong. At really just like unhooking. It's a very cleansing oil, and it's also spiritually protective. So when it's again protective. So when you have something that spiritually or emotionally you need to protect, you can put this on before. But also for cleansing, I like to put it on, my favorite point to put it on is this one here. This is the large intestine 4 point, and it can be referred to as the great eliminator. It's also joining of the valleys point, but it's a huge acupressure point for moving chi in the body. So if there's stagnancy, if you're having trouble letting go of something that's just past its due, because that's me big time. Like I said, I have a lot of stuff going on in my metal element. I do struggle with letting go of things when they're past their due. And so there's that grieving process of letting go as well. So I find that really helpful. Again, don't use this point if you're pregnant. It's a very powerful point. If you're near the end of your pregnancy or if you're in labor, it can help. But just be careful. Always check with your practitioners. So the next one, eucalyptus. Many of you already probably use this for your respiratory stuff. And again, it's in the Easy Air roller, but I absolutely love eucalyptus. I use it in meditation. This is one that I use every day for sure. I like to, of course, I diffuse it a lot, but as a preventative For seasonal threats, I like to rub a drop or two on my chest. I use it on the children as well in that way, or just a little bit on the feet when we're going outside. In terms of my spirit, and it really does, it really opens up the airways. But on a spiritual and emotional level, I use this oil a lot to be able to take in newness. And, you know, part of the combination that I would use would be tea tree and eucalyptus, because tea tree would help sort of like clear out the way, and eucalyptus helps me take in the new. But it is an expansive oil. So in terms of expanding the lung to be able to take in fresh, clean air, think of it in that way, spiritually, emotionally as well. It really sort of helps you expand, really in terms of presentness as well. So in the present moment, how to really fully be in the present moment, to take in the emotional experience of the present moment and then let it go. So you might even use it in reverse, this then tea tree. So yeah, there's a lot going on there. You can make your own chest rubs, which is really good. Again, we're talking all this kind of congestion up here. But eucalyptus, I've also felt, has helped me with my physical discomfort as well. So I'll even use it on my low back, on my abdomen. It's a very uplifting, but oh yeah, and another great point that I love to put a eucalyptus, or even easier, on these points here. This is the large intestine 20 point, just on the outside of the nasal labial groove. And I find that's one that I even like to do in the morning, actually, to sort of open up my day by putting some kind of air opening oil here, whatever I feel is appropriate, and then doing some acupressure in this area. Large intestine 20 is the welcome fragrance point, so it can drop you into the present moment and the sweetness of the present moment. It's a really nice one to do. I did it at least 3 or 4 times yesterday throughout my day. Okay, next oil is Cypress, another great oil for respiratory congestion. Also an oil on a spiritual level and on an emotional level. Oil of transition and cycles. Really great oil for this time of year, because we're transitioning from a more yang time where we had like energy, we were exuberant, we were creating, like we were just going in the summer. And then we went through this harvest sort of phase, and we're still, you know, of course, in that. But now we're going in autumn, and we have to start to prepare to let go of some of the things that we created that we don't need anymore, let those natural death happen. And Cypress can be a really great support for that. So again, if you're going through grief, loss, struggling with the end of something, like the feeling that something is ending, and that's a painful experience, because Cypress can really help you see, at some point, help you feel that in order for something new to come in, something does have to go. We cannot keep piling it in. And Cypress can really help you understand that death is birth in a way. Yeah, and it's just good, again, really good for the skin, really clarifying for the skin. So if you have blemishes, if you have something that needs cleansing, it's also great. I use this in my spray cleaners, things like that. Next oil, lemon. I think this is a great daily oil all year round. Again, I use a lot of these oils every day. But I had to include, there were so many oils I wanted to include in this kit, but I really had to narrow it down to the ones that I use every day for, specifically to help me balance this particular element. And so with lemon, it's a citrus oil, so it's incredibly uplifting. And during this time, we see less sunlight, depending on where you are. But here in Canada, the weather changes, it gets colder, it's more yin time, there's more, the sun isn't out as much. And so I find with the lemon oil, simply the scent of the lemon oil is uplifting. It doesn't erase all your doom and gloom, of course, but it can, chemically speaking, really uplift the mind. And so with that, I would also say on a spiritual level, it's really helped me clear out these self-judgmental thoughts, which can also be associated with the metal element. Judgment is a aspect of that. And so, for example, if you have thoughts like, I'm just not smart enough, I just can't do it, XYZ, you get the picture. Lemon can, in a way, again, when you're working, I would use it even in combination with tea tree or a couple of the other oils, maybe cypress and tea tree. The tea tree will just help with the lemon to kind of let those old thoughts and judgments move through. Like, again, it is time to go. Those thoughts don't need to be there. Those stories don't need to be there. Lemon can help you really see your true light again in an emotional and spiritual way. And again, lemon, really also good for the respiratory system. It's something that you can take internally as well. So I really love that. So waking up in the morning, having some warm water with 1 drop of lemon oil in it, I've really found and setting some intention about like letting something go for the day, or letting a certain thought or certain story go while I drink the warm lemon water in the morning. Now, lemon is a very incredible detoxifying oil, so it works with that system, and it can also be used on your skin as well. Now, you have to remember that lemon oil is photosensitive, so just keep that in mind. But in terms of using it in a cleansing way, and another really, really good cleansing oil. There's like hundreds of uses for all these oils. I could go on. So next is cardamom. One of my favorites. I could say that about everyone, but I really do like this. And I will say that a lot of these oils I've diffused. Right now I have a combination of these being diffused. Actually, I have lemon, cypress, eucalyptus, and cardamom. I also put in a little bit of blue tansy, and I'm diffusing that right now. But I find that the cardamom, really, the cats enjoy it. So I'll use cardamom, and I have this diffuser blend to help with our cats that do have sort of chronic respiratory issues. So cardamom is, again, another oil that benefits the respiratory system. So if you have scratchy throat, chest congestion, it's another good one. You can also put this in your lattes, your chai teas, your curries, it's very good in curries. So I really like that because it's an oil that you can take internally. On top of it, it supports the digestive system. So I enjoy smelling it when I'm eating meals, and I feel like it increases my appetite, that it encourages digestion. In terms of spiritual qualities and emotional qualities for this, I really find, since it's a warming oil, I find that it brings passion and it helps you direct your passion. So when we're looking at the metal element, it depends on how, it is looking like for you, whether your metal element is sort of too much or too little, but people can maybe need help with getting in touch with their passion and directing their passion. And so cardamom can help with that, even if you have other emotional issues, sort of like anger, which is also just a form of passion for a lot of people. Cardamom can really help with that. And the last oil I actually just ran out of. It's another roller. It's the Stronger blend, and it's a protective blend. It's actually an oil that originally is in the kids kit, but I put it in here with the other oils, not in the roller. I put it in the 5 ml because I thought it might be nice for people to diffuse as well. And these 4 oils that are in this blend are incredible. It's cedarwood, which I also find really helpful for the lungs and the metal element, but also in terms of giving you that grounded strength. So that's really helpful. And then also the other 2 oils in it too that really can help with skin are rose essential oil and frankincense. So the king and queen of oils. And then you also have Litsi. So you have Litsi, rose, frankincense, and Litsi, rose, frankincense, and cedarwood in this blend. So again, really lovely blend. Can be great for the skin, can be soothing for the skin. And is a great protection for this seasonal time as well. So all of these oils can help protect the immune system, lift up and boost the immune system. And when we're talking about these things too, when we work in both the physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, when we work within all those realms with the oils, that really does improve our immune system, because I notice when my mood is low, when I'm, really dealing with a lot of emotional turmoil, my immune system obviously becomes a little bit weaker too. So yeah, those are the oils. I'm not going to go any deeper in at this point. But yes, please do send questions, and I'll share a little bit more about each oil over the next couple days. But yes, please do let me know. These are the oils that I just find are incredible, and I'm using them every day, and I would love to offer you this opportunity as well if it's something that you're interested in. So thanks again for stopping by, and we'll talk soon.